Good morning everyone. Today the topic of discussion is drift current and diffusion current. So in semiconductors, if we study about the total current, it is basically comprising of two types of current. One is your drift current and second one is your diffusion current. Let's take it one by one. What is drift current? It can be defined as the flow of electric current due to the motion of charge carriers on applying external electric field. Now here I have taken a piece of semiconductor of length L, area of cross section A, and across which I have applied a potential difference V. So what will happen? Once I apply a potential difference across the ends of the semiconductor, the electric field will set up, which is given by E is equal to V by L, which we have studied in our elementary classes. Because of that electric field, the force act on the charged particles, that force is given by F is equal to Q into E. Because of that force, initially the collision will take place among the charged particles. They will be accelerated, and the acceleration of which will be given by force upon mass, where force is given by F is equal to Q into E and mass is M. Because of this acceleration, after a certain instant of time, the charged particle will start moving with a constant average velocity, which is called as drift velocity. So drift velocity will be equal to acceleration into tau, where tau is called as mean relaxation time. What is that mean relaxation time? It is the time between the two successive collisions. So because of this drifting of the charge carriers, the current gets established, which is given by I is equal to NEAVD. What is N? N is number density of the charge particles. E is the charge on the electrons. A is the area of the cross section of the semiconductor. VD is the drift velocity, which I have taken. VD is equal to A into tau. Now I take this area in the denominator, so it becomes I upon A is equal to NEVD. Now this I upon A is referred as a quantity which is called as current density, and it is being represented by J. So J becomes NEVD. Okay, so this is the expression for the current density. And we also know that if we define drift velocity in terms of mobility, so we have a relation that drift velocity is equal to mobility into the electric field which is applied. So we do a substitution over here. VD is equal to mu into E. So this becomes the expression for current density for the electrons. Now since semiconductor is a bipolar device, bipolar means we have to consider the current conduction due to electrons as well as current conduction due to holes. So here I have taken the current density because of electrons, as well as I have to take the current density because of holes. So what I do is, if I talk about current density of electrons, it becomes N Q mu N. Now I have put a suffix N over here in order to represent this, that this is the mobility due to electrons, and I have taken mu P over here, which is representing the mobility due to holes. So Jn becomes NQ mu N into E, and Jp becomes PQ mu P into E. So here we have the relations of the current density for electrons as well as current density due to holes. So if we calculate the total current density, it will be the combination of, or you can say simply summation of, current density due to electrons plus current density due to holes. So we have substituted these two expressions over here and we have simply added it. So once we add, we get the total expression for current density due to electrons plus current density due to holes, So I have added it. So we can take Q and E common from here. Once we take this charge and electric field common, we get N mu N plus P mu P. Now there is a one more expression that we know, that is J is equal to sigma into E. Now when we substitute this relation into this total current density expression, so it becomes sigma into E is equal to N mu N plus P mu P Q into E. Out of that, E gets cancelled and we have an expression for electrical conductivity which is given by N mu N plus P mu P. So in the drift current, the summary is that it is the current that is established due to the motion of the charged particle on the application of external electric field. And I have also helped you to understand and given you the derivation for the electrical conductivity across the semiconductor on the account of drifting of the charged particles. Now let's talk about the next type of current, which is called as diffusion current. As we all know that diffusion is a phenomena which takes place on the account of concentration gradient. Now what concentration gradient means? Concentration gradient means that there is a difference in the concentration of the charged particles. Now when we talk about PN junction, so in PN junction, if we talk about the P side, then in the P side the majority carriers are holes, while in the N side the minority carriers are holes. So there is a concentration gradient, and due to this concentration gradient there will be the flow of electric current due to the motion of the charged particles. The major reason behind it is the concentration gradient which is being established in the P and N type semiconductors. So when a P and N junction is formed, on the account of the concentration gradient, the charged particles starts moving across the junction. Now there will be a movement of electrons as well as there will be a movement of holes. So what will happen when there is a motion of electrons? So the current that is established, it is given by Jn is equal to Q dn by dx. Now what is this Jn? Jn is diffusion current density. Q is the charge of the electrons. Dn is the diffusion coefficient of electrons, and dn by dx is the concentration gradient of electrons. As I have told you, the major reason behind the diffusion current is concentration gradient. So there should be a concentration gradient of electrons which results into the diffusion current density due to electrons. Similarly, there will be a diffusion current density due to holes. Now that is given by Jp is equal to minus Q dp by dx. Again, now this capital D suffix p is diffusion coefficient of holes, and this dp upon dx is the concentration gradient of holes. So individually we have calculated the diffusion current density due to electrons and the diffusion current density due to holes. The major important fact behind this is, or concept behind this is, that diffusion current flows on the account of concentration gradient. So if I summarize, drift current is due to the application of external electric field, and diffusion is on the account of concentration gradient. So if I have to calculate the total current in a semiconductor, what I have to do? I have to consider drift current also, and I have to consider diffusion current also. So we are simply adding it. We are adding the components for drift current along with the components of diffusion current. So let's take one by one. Suppose if I am talking about N-type semiconductor, I have to take the value for drift current, that is Q N mu N into E, plus I have given you that expression, that is Q dn by dx. So this will give me the total current density which is being obtained in a N-type semiconductor. Similarly, when I am calculating for a p-type semiconductor, the total current density will be given by q p mu p e minus q dp dp by dx. So up till now we are in a position to calculate the total current that is being developed in a semiconductors, and I have also categorized it. I have given you the formula for n-type also, and I have also given you the formula for a p-type semiconductors. So till this much we have calculated the drift current, diffusion current. We have added both the currents to find the total value of the current in the semiconductors. Now once we are talking about drift and a diffusion current, there is a very important relationship that needs to be also discussed in the second half of the lecture, and that relationship is called as Einstein relationship. Now what is this relationship? In a simple words, if I say, it states that the ratio of diffusion coefficient to the mobility is always constant. Now what was diffusion coefficient? I have told you in my previous slides that it was represented by capital D upon mu was mobility, and that is equal to a constant which is called as Vt, where Vt stands for thermal voltage. It is also referred as volt equivalent of temperature in some books, and it is also equal to K bar T by Q. Now what is this K bar? This K bar is Boltzmann constant. Now you have to remember that you have to substitute the value of Boltzmann constant in joules per Kelvin, and the value is 1.38 into 10 raised to power minus 23 joules per Kelvin. This value needs to be put into this expression. The temperature is always to be taken in Kelvins. Charge is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. So as we are talking about electrons as well as holes also, so if I am referring this Einstein relation for the electrons, it will be dn upon mu n is equal to, for holes it becomes dp upon mu p, which is further equal to Vt, and which is equal to K bar T by Q. On substituting all the values, this is further equal to T upon 11600, and if I am calculating for a room temperature that is 300 Kelvins, Vt comes out to be 25 millivolts or 26 millivolts. In different books, different values have been put. So you can take any of this, 25 or 26 millivolts. So this gives us the Einstein relation. Here I have given you a small table in which I am referring the values at 300 Kelvins for germanium and a silicon. The mobility for electrons is around 3900 for germanium, and for silicon it is 1350. For holes it is around 1900, 480, and correspondingly the value of this dn and dp has been calculated. Dn is equal to mu n into this value, so this is coming out to be around 101. Similarly dp is also being calculated around 49, because dn becomes mu n into Vt, and Vt standard is around 25 millivolts. Similarly dp will be given by mu p into Vt, which is around 26 millivolts. After explaining this relationship, I am giving you the derivation of this relation also. So very small derivation I have discussed over here to make it more simple. So this is that same expression which I derived in my previous slide, that is for current density for the electrons. Similarly there was a current density due to holes, so I have added both the drift current as well as diffusion currents. So let's derive it in small few steps. At thermal equilibrium, we all know that the current density due to electrons or the current density due to holes comes out to be equal to 0. Now suppose I take this relation, Jpx is equal to q mu p pe minus q dp dp by dx. So I put Jpx is equal to 0 in this expression. What happens? This comes to the left hand side. So this is q mu p px ex is equal to q dp dpx by dx. I have put a suffix x over here in order to give you an idea that this is a function of distance. So from here q cancels with q. I have taken this dp mu p comes down. It's 1 upon px dpx by dx. Now we all know when we are calculating the concentration of the holes, it is given by the expression Pi e raised to the power Ei minus Ef upon kT. In my previous lecture of Fermi level I have explained this expression. Now we do the differentiation of this expression with respect to x. So what we find, this is a constant, so it comes out of the differentiation, e raised to the power Ei minus Ef into upon kT. So a differentiation of an exponential function remains as it is into, now we have to do the differentiation of this quantity. So 1 upon kT comes out, it is dEi upon dx minus dEf upon dx. Now we all know that this rate of change of this EF with respect to x at 300 Kelvin is always 0. So this expression is being ignored from here. So it is, if I talk of this expression, Pi e raised to the power Ei minus Ef upon kT, this is equal to what? Po. So I have put Po over here, 1 upon kT di Ei upon dx. So I mark this expression to be 2. Now we all know that E of x is equal to 1 upon q dei upon dx. I put this equation as 3, and now I am substituting both 2 and 3 into expression 1. So when I substitute, so this is the value from expression 3 which is being placed in E of x, which is equal to 1 upon q dEi upon dx, and this is expression number 1 as it is. In place of dpx by dx I substitute these values, so it is p 1 upon kT dI upon dx, px cancels with px, dEi upon dx cancels with dEi upon dx. So I am left with the Einstein relation, which comes out to be dP upon mu p is equal to kT upon q. Hence this particular relation is being derived. Now here I am giving you one small tip. Suppose if you don't remember the value of Boltzmann constant or suppose the charge, so you can simply use this small assumptions and the values that kT by q is equal to d by mu, that is equal to 0.026 in volts. This I have told you earlier. So suppose if I am talking about 300 Kelvin, so I put the value 300 over here. So it is k into 300 by q is equal to 0.026. So k by q comes out to be equal to 0.026 by 300. Now you have to simply remember this. Now if the examiner asks you that give me the value of d by mu at 400, what do you have to do? K by q is standard now, it is coming out to be 0.026 by 300. You put this value over here, whatever temperature the examiner asks you or the question paper has been asked, you simply put that particular temperature. So 0, 0, this cancels with this, it comes out to be equal to 4 by 3 into 0.026. So you can easily, and with the fast calculations, you can find the value of d by mu as per the required temperature, whatever has been asked. So that's all for today's lecture. Thank you very much for being a patient listener.